Hey guys, and welcome back to United Star. Today we have the Kolkata Red Army with us. We have Hirak and Swayam joining us. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Our topic today is all about Greenwood, guys. So let's get on with it quickly. Swayam, I'm going to bring you in first over here. What I want to ask you is Greenwood, do you think he genuinely has the quality and potential, or do you think it's just been a one stint thing sort of season?
Yeah. Before I start, thank you, Rishi, for having us in the channel. We're glad to be a part of your podcast, and it's lovely to talk with you guys. Coming back to your question, I'm not. I would give a 70-30 answer on that. I mean, see, if a player has this potential, he gets recognized by greats. So I mean, Van Persie has tweeted a number of times that Greenwood reminds me of Greenwood reminds him of him of his playing days. So, I mean, I have rarely seen a player having both foots as lethal as he has. So, coming from the academy, coming up at an 18-year-old to the most physical league and scoring 17, 18 goals. That can't be a fluke actually. So you need to have some talent, but again, as United has had academy players who has been performing and again vanishing, but I don't think he would because he has to keep his head down and work hard this season. Like last season was his breakthrough, so this season he has to build on it. So I'm not expecting Greenwood again to go out for 20 goals again this season. I'm definitely not going to expect him from that. It would be too harsh for him. But 10 season, 10, I mean 20, say 15 goal plus assists for this season would be fair enough for a 19-year-old guy who has just come out, who is just playing his second season. Most regular strikers can't do that. So I would take that happily.
Vishesh, you've been keeping track of the youth team for a long while now. And while there was buzz around Greenwood, we never heard that much about him compared to what we heard about Gomez and Tahib Chong. So, what's your take on his quality and potential?
I think when we talk about Mason Greenwood, his potential is sky high. I can see him continuing his current form and breaking Wayne Rooney's record. Hopefully, my words are true. But he's just consistent, and having like an 18-year-old playing in your 11 is just really helpful because I was going through how many games he's played this season. There hasn't been a game that he's missed in the EPL. The only one he's missed is West Ham against for his tonsillitis, but otherwise he was on the bench for all games, and obviously he threw James out of the starting 11 after COVID. So he's an ever-present side in the squad. He's scored 10 goals in the Premier League. I mean, for his breakthrough season, for any player of that age to perform so well is just outstanding. If we want to compare the other likes, I think the hype around Angel Gomez, who was the main youth player, was that the guy was England captain when England won the Under 17 World Cup. But at the same time, Jadon Sancho was also in that team, right? And now we're talking about paying 100 million for Jadon Sancho, and Angel Gomez just left on a free. So there's a difference between how you seize your opportunity, and Mason Greenwood has done that correctly. He reminds me of Rashford when it comes to seizing the opportunity. No one had heard of Rashford, on that Champions League night. He just came on for Martial and he seized his opportunity. And Greenwood's done the same because the guy just doesn't stop playing. He's played all games in the FA Cup, EFL, Premier League. In fact, he's even played for under 23. He's played 2 games for under 23. So that's an insane season. We're looking at over 65 to 70 games for him. So I definitely see him doing well at the club. And with his left and right foot, there's no stopping him.
Hirak, I think most of us will generally agree that Greenwood has the potential. But what I want to ask you is where the debate will be is what is his position? Is he our number 9 or is he going to be a right winger? What's your take on this?
Well, firstly, thanks, Rishi, for inviting us to be part of the discussion. And it's great to know the initiative you guys have started. It's always good to connect with the United fans around. So now coming to the question. So for me, it's I feel Greenwood isn't a number nine. He is more suited on the wing. His position could be more of a right wing, where he can drift in the box, and also with his skills of right-footed, left-footed skills, which I think is something which differentiates him from the others we already discussed. Plus, also I felt, as both Vishesh and Shwem said, he has the qualities in terms of being match fit. He has the qualities of capitalizing on the chances. When the teams, we have seen in matches when we were one goal down, but from nowhere Greenwood came and just scored the equalizers. So that talent also just adds to him. So now, not only as a striker, I would think he would more be suited to a right wing role where he can also drift in into the box.
You know, to follow on with a question on that, if Jadon Sancho comes into the team, do you think that's going to negatively affect Greenwood, since you said you see him more as a right midfielder or a right winger?
No, absolutely not. Firstly, if we analyze all best teams or all good teams around the world, we need to have a very good squad depth and good squad competition. So Jadon Sancho coming up doesn't invite trouble for Mason Greenwood. Plus, with the manager around Ole Gunnar, he also always trusts on the youth. Plus, this time United are also going to play the UEFA Champions League along with the Premier League, FA Cup, and EFL. So, with lots of matches, I don't see him that as a negative. Also, with Jadon Sancho, we can mostly put him as a right winger position. Greenwood, apart from that, he also has the talent to at times get into the box, drift into the box. So I think there is a difference to some extent between Greenwood and Sancho, and it will always be a good competition on the right wing side. So for me personally, it's never trouble.
Vishesh,
Rishi,
do you
let me just get in
Sancho
on
is going
this.
to be a starter?
Obviously, I mean, you aren't spending 100+ million for someone to sit on the bench. He's not that kind of guy. But I just want to add to what Hirak is saying, and he's right to a certain degree. But uh, I'm going to give the example of Rashford again in this case. Lukaku came in. It didn't hamper Rashford's development. He still continued growing as a player. So, as you say, squad depth is needed. We haven't got Van der Beek to, replace Pogba, to replace Bruno. We've got him to add depth to the squad. So if we have someone like Sancho coming in and replacing Greenwood, it's not that we want Greenwood's development to hamper. We just want more competition. Greenwood will be on the
Correct.
bench. We've seen how against Southampton he came on and he scored that goal. We've seen how against Sheffield he was the one who started the full 2-0 loss revival kind of a thing, with that getting into the box and poaching that goal, as Hirak said, playing in the central role. So
Right.
he's versatile when it comes to the front three. And personally, I would love to see something like Rashford on the left, Greenwood in the center, and Sancho up front on the left. Yeah. So that would be
On,
amazing.
the other point which Vishesh said, I also personally feel Sancho signing for United is most for us like a poster boy. Like he is the one for the future. A signing which could be paying us or giving us the dividends for the next 3 4 years at the least. Because Sancho, as you mentioned, Vishesh, so I did see him while he was playing for England during the Under 17 World Cup. So during the match at Salt Lake, I have seen him. I have seen Angel Gomez. So this guy has enormous talent. So definitely he is the signing we actually need and a poster boy for United.
Uh,
Swam, I want to ask you over here is that if Sancho comes in at right wing, do you think then we can make Greenwood our number nine, which personally I believe is a more suited role for him? What's your take on this? I think it'll be good
uh,
competition for Martial.
I see Greenwood is 18 year. I guess 18. He's going to be 19, right? So, and I'm not sure he's more of a 6 footer guy. I'm not exactly sure about his height, but In that case, you imagine a 19-year-old guy playing in the center forward with 6 foot height, and there are 33-year-old defenders jumping on his back, climbing on him. So, well, I mean, so he that is one place where I have my doubts. So I can't push a 19-year-old person, 19-year-old kid onto us and to play like you hold the line for me. And if you have seen Martial for the last season, at least for this season, he I mean previously he we used to complain that Martial is very lazy. He doesn't move around. He doesn't drop deep and hold the ball and make the other moves. But for this season, he has improved his game. He has become a more all-round center forward where he is dropping deep and is holding the ball. So for that, you need a good physique, good back strength. Like, I don't think Greenwood is yet ready to do that. I would keep him at number. I mean, at the right wing and say where I mean on a very tactical perspective when Manchester United attacks, Greenwood, Martial, and Rashford they interchange their positions all around the box. So sometimes Rashford drops deep and Greenwood and Martial goes in. Sometimes Greenwood drops deep, Rashford and Martial goes in. So that this makes the defenders confused as to whom to mark, and they mostly keep one of them out. So in that case, Greenwood is more of a threat going inside the box, and uh, so in that case, I won't think Greenwood would survive on keeping him at number 9 because if a striker thrives on goals, if he's not scoring goals for 10 games, he's going to lose his confidence. So if I'm playing Greenwood at number 9 and he's stopped scoring goals or stopped making impacts on the games, he would lose confidence and he might lose what he has to become a generational player. So it's too early to put him at number 9. I would still play Sancho on the right and play and alternate Greenwood, say coming on at 9:30 minutes after 30, I mean after 60 minutes, and he would be an impact from the bench. Like the opposition team would know that okay, this team has Greenwood on the bench who can come up at 60 minutes and can run at us and can score goals and from both groups. So that is something to have.
Vishesh, I see
I would
some
I would love to have
over
that.
there.
So it's more
Yeah.
like we should be having a kid who needs to be taken proper care. So it's
Right.
more
I mean,
that case he shouldn't be losing out the confidence at this stage.
right. I can give you an example on this. If we go back, I mean, far behind, like when our most famous five guys from the academy came in, the class of '92. I'm going to go that back. So we had one person who had the experience of playing the league for several years, and leading the attack. That was Eric Cantona. So that guy molded all the five players into, I mean, all the attacking players that we had and all the kids there and molded him into a better player that they became. So you would need someone to look up to and who has some experience. So in that case, we would, I mean, I can't trust Greenwood on to say that, okay, you are leading my attack and you have to score 2 goals, 3 goals, you have to score 20 goals this season. I can't do that for him. That would be too harsh for him.
Okay, guys, I think we're going to go a little over time. So I'm going to let Vishesh make the last point over here. Vishesh, why don't you go ahead and say your point? I think you were disagreeing with what Swayam had to
So,
say.
so I agree with a lot of statements that you made, but there are the height issue. I mean, we got Wayne Rooney, and Wayne Rooney is definitely smaller than Mason Greenwood when it comes to height,
Right,
and we saw what Wayne Rooney did in the central position. Plus, that
right.
additionally, I don't think Ole is going to play the long ball to Lukaku and Fellaini heading it in. I think he's going to
That's
keep it
true.
way more on the
Right,
ground. And when it comes to technical skill, Mason Greenwood is out there. You don't know. He goes on the left, he goes on the right. What he does, we have no idea. So I think
right,
Mason Greenwood would become someone who goes on the bench but puts pressure not only on Jadon Sancho but also on Anthony Martial, making the squad depth more. Like how we think Van der
right.
Beek will put it on Pogba, Bruno, Matic. He could play any of those roles. That would be the same for Mason Greenwood. And I know Rishi said that we're running out of time. So one thing we haven't mentioned, and I just want to end on this. Mason Greenwood is our new number 11. So he is stepping into the likes
Right.
of Ryan Giggs,
Right.
right?
Agreed.
Hopefully
Agreed.
it isn't how Adnan Januzaj just tailed off, or how
I was
Anthony
just going to
Martial
make that statement.
had a bad season with the number. So hopefully he lives up to the pride, and we have another Ryan Giggs for the next 10 to 12 years.
Yes.
Guys, I think we've all agreed upon the fact that Greenwood is our rising star and we have great potential in a player like him. I think where the disagreement has happened with us today is his position and whether he'll be able to sustain in that position. But I think this debate, the fact that we're having this debate about a 19-year-old, is just says everything about Greenwood. And I definitely think there's more to come from him. We would love to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you so much, Kolkata Red Army, for joining us. We hope to have you back on soon again. Leave a like and subscribe, guys. Don't forget, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.